Hello,
Hello.
everyone. Hello, hello. This is
Happy
Sunday Shift,
Sunday.
take two. um, Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Sorry we were off last week and I did not post something. I thought I posted something until today, honestly. So
Mm.
apologies for that. um, we had our 3-year anniversary pass, which was exciting. Um,
Yay. Happy 3 years. And thank
Happy 3 years.
you, Tracy, for starting this and for maintaining this. I love the comments that people give that this is like some of the, the best, one of the best soaps podcasts that they like to
Yeah.
listen to. And so really appreciative of this. It's all because of Tracy wanting to have someone to talk to about Sunday shift.
And it's all because you
About
bring your like
snitch.
beautiful, positive energy. Um, Even when I'm mad and hating the show, you always find the balance. So, that I think is what has people coming back because we're critical, but people who listen to us know that we are in it with them and there are things that we like. I
Hmm.
appreciate it when people give us pushback and say, I love what you said about this, and I didn't like what you say about that. Just that conversation is, to me, really fun because that's what soaps are about. It's not about always agreeing, but it's about talking about what we like and what we don't like in this kind of very, very, I don't want to say small, but like niche, if you will, like specialty, if you will,
Yeah.
genre that we like.
And then,
Um,
yeah, being able to talk about it with people helps broaden your perspective a little bit, at least. I love hearing different people's point of views and makes me think about the subject a little bit
mhm,
differently. So, yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. So again, tell a friend about us. I was just telling Tanya, we're 3 years. I think we're gonna make some merch. So stay on the lookout for that. We'll have some merch up, maybe some mugs or something, um, as we move forward.
I
For you,
still love
Tanya, oh, still of what?
I still love my Corinthos coffee mug. It's the best mug because it's super tall and you can put in
I broke
lots.
mine.
Oh
I did. I broke mine. Um, but how was your week?
My week was pretty good. I, like everyone else, probably a lot of people, watched Monsters with
Yes,
Nicholas Chavez, and oh my gosh.
I have not. I have not. I've had such a busy week. I haven't even started it.
Oh
My whole
no.
vibe is that I was like, I'm actually with at my mom's house, and we are going to start it together um, after we record. I have been having so much fun with people who don't know I know who Nicholas is. You know what I mean? Because they don't know his like roots.
Oh yeah.
So they're like, they're like, oh, you're gonna watch because everybody knows I like love true crime stuff. It's a
Right.
problem. Free I nine, keep them free. Cereal. But but so people have just been like chatting with me about it, and they're like, oh yeah, the young guys are so good. And then afterwards, I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, by the way, the one came from General Hospital.
Hospital. Right.
So, we will talk more in depth once I finish it. But yeah, I'm excited to like dig in and watch. I really, really am. Some of the clips and stuff have looked really good. Um, the like stills, all of that has looked really good.
There's some really shocking moments in there, and kudos to you. Just for being able, I don't know if you have been, but the talk on the internet about the show is really it's I think it's fascinating seeing soap fans watch and make their comments versus those who aren't soap fans and who are
Mm,
discovering Nicholas Chavez. And it's interesting, but kudos to you because there's a lot of spoilers out of there. So yeah, if you can not check up the hashtags about him as much as possible, because there's like some shocking scenes, but then it speaks to the caliber of actor that that he's able to go with it and roll with it.
mm,
And it just, kudos. So, and there's a lot of commentary, not just about him and, the actors, it's about the story itself. People have some feelings about the story and
I've
how it
seen
was
that.
portrayed. Yeah. So it'll be interesting conversation for you to think about when you're watching. I'm about half or a little over halfway through it, and
Mm,
I am not necessarily a big a fan of true crime stories, and I may have gotten all that I want to get out of it, but I may still finish it just because there are some elements to the story that I still don't know or understand, and I kind of want to watch it to see.
hmm.
But I'm not in a hurry. I just wanted to make sure that I got in at least a good majority of it over
Mm.
the weekend because there's so much talk about it, and I knew I couldn't avoid it. And if I wanted to be spoiler free, I had to hurry up and watch it.
Yeah, I'm okay with certain things not being spoiler free, especially true crimes. I'm like, I mean, we kind of know what already happened.
Yeah, we kind of know what
Um,
happened.
I saw that people were like mad because he had said something about like not knowing who they were, and I was like, well, he's 20 or 25, however old he is. Of course, he doesn't know. I don't. I the little bit of stuff I did see had been less about him and more about Ryan Murphy, which makes sense.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I didn't watch Dahmer just because I'm from Milwaukee,
Uh-huh.
and like know people who lost people to him, and so I just remember everybody having such an issue with the portrayal, and I feel like it's louder now than it was with Dahmer, and I
Uh-huh.
think some of that is because the people who had the biggest problem with the Dahmer portrayal were like black and brown people,
Mm-hmm.
and people who had queer family, and the people who have the biggest problem now, like the Menendez brothers, are like cute white boys, and
Mm-hmm.
so because of that, their voices and the people who have a problem because of them. Um, they get to be a little bit louder than what we heard about Dahmer. So
And
I don't know how much will shock me because I'm very familiar with Ryan Murphy.
yeah, and the fact that the Menendez brothers are still alive and
Right.
their case isn't quite closed yet because it looks like it might reopen. I'm hearing things that it might reopen, and so
Oh,
there's a lot of commentary and tension around that might add to the comments. Yeah, that might add to the talk and the controversy. So, yeah,
yeah, wow. I didn't know that. I
yeah.
do know, these shows and these podcasts, they do bring like a lot of extra eyes and attention and can completely change the direction of a case. I mean, I kind of got into a lot of this with Serial from like, what was it, 2014, with Adnan Saeed in his case. And I have like followed that case, and he's like finally got free years and years later, and so much of the case was like reopened because of Serial. And so I can understand if this portrayal makes it harder for the Menendez brothers and people being like really upset about that. Because I think because like the reports where they were abused and all of these things, people feel a different way and feel a different connection. I remember talking to Tara, who's a friend of the show, about this, about how interesting it is that this is under Monster and not under American Crime Stories. Because I think that OJ wasn't under Monsters; it was under American Crime Stories. And so when you think about the Menendez brothers, like who are the monsters in that story, and are they the same as like a Jeffrey Dahmer? And I don't think that that's true. So I think that just all is really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch the show and you even without watching the show, who the monster is actually variable. I mean, whether or
Hmm.
not the Menace brothers are the monsters or they're the victims, it's a question mark, you know. And
Hmm.
so that would make sense as far as why they are in the monster category versus OJ.
Hmm.
I don't know. There's just so many questions along with it, and I think that would what would appeal to Ryan Murphy, who's just I think he's into like that kind of question that make you think, and also
Hmm.
I'm hearing he sensationalizes some stuff.
Well,
So
I'm not surprised. It's Ryan Murphy.
yeah, yeah. So there's that. But yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's
yeah.
definitely worth watching or at least tuning into the first couple of episodes and see what you think.
Yeah. I mean, I think, and even tying it back to soap operas in general, I think,
Right.
soap operas is such a like launching pad for all of these genres. So
Hmm.
like you have, soap operas, and then they're like, okay, how do we tell like a evening soap opera? So then you get like a Desperate Housewives, and then after Desperate Housewives, you get the reality shows of like, okay, well, what about the Real Housewives? And then you get even further, and you're like, okay, how do we dig into like these true crime stories and sensationalize them even more? So like for me, I just keep remembering how much of a frequency that there is of soap operas kind of going throughout all of these genres, and that I think is
Hmm.
fascinating as well. So I'm gonna watch it. I already said I wasn't gonna watch Grotesque or whatever that is because that looked too scary for me.
Yes, definitely.
Like I am a little bit of a scaredy cat, even when crime gets a little too scary. I don't mess with it, but like spirits, ghosts, that kind of stuff, I don't play around with that. Uh, so I won't be watching that. But shout out to
I'm
him.
I'm
Uh,
with you on that one.
and then just really quick before we hop into GH, I don't know if you saw the Gates.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be called Beyond the Gates now, so it's going to be Beyond the Gates, and they already started doing some casting. So I am really excited about it. I think they're going to be partnering with the NAACP. Um, I believe that we're going to see like really good story coming out of that. I trust Michelle Valjean, who is like the writer, like the executive producer, head writer. I'm not sure what she is of that, but she has written some of the most amazing stories in soaps. So I am ready to see some Black people on my screen soaping it up.
And I'm super excited about how it's being promoted. Like I
Yeah.
saw it on, morning news shows. They talked about it. They talked about entertainment. I mean, it's being promoted really heavily, and I
Hmm.
like that, because they could have just quietly, put the show on, didn't really make a big deal about it, but they're really trying to make a splash with this show, and I really appreciate, the producers and the networks for doing that. So it's
Hmm.
getting everybody excited about it, even folks who don't normally watch soaps. I'm seeing them talk about it. So that's great. It's great for
It
the
is.
genre.
It is.
Yeah.
Is really good. So let's hop into GH. Lots happened this week.
That
Tani,
happened next week too.
who is your performer of the week or performers of the week?
Um, okay. So I think we had one heavy hitting scene this week with Felicia and Christina. And so want to give a shout out to Kate Mancy and Christina Wagner for doing that kind of heavy lift. And it actually brought me to tears. It's very emotional. So, Kate Mancy, no matter what we feel about Christina as a character, I think she's doing a phenomenal job portraying her. And then also Christina Wagner, playing off each other. I thought that was really great. Um,
Hmm.
but I also liked Steve Burton and Fennel Hughes team
Did
up.
you?
I
Okay.
did. I thought they were funny. It was kind of hilarious. Frankly, the story is a little off the wall to me, but having, Jason playing poker, high stakes poker, and then just the shenanigans. Him and everyone loved him in the tux. And so, the whole Bond thing, but not really Bond thing, I think that was really funny. And so I enjoyed those scenes. Um, what else? I think those. Oh, and then the scenes with Lucky and Elizabeth too. I
Uh,
like
yes.
that was like definitely a callback. And it also made me curious because like I feel like, and we'll talk about this more when we talk about it, just feels like Jonathan Jackson is adding a little bit of intrigue in there. And so I'm trying to figure out what, because he sounded like he felt guilty about something. I'm like, what? I'm like, what? So,
Probably for
and
being a
it
deadbeat.
right, probably for being a deadbeat, but it made it sound like really serious, and so that's the kudos to him for making it making the scene more important than it actually
Yeah,
was.
for
So,
sure, for sure.
yeah,
I mean, I just feel like his return has been a dud,
it
and
has been.
we'll lean more into all of that. But I have been so annoyed with Christina
Hmm.
that I have had a real block in feeling anything for her.
Hmm.
Um, so I do think that what Christina Wagner was able to do with Felicia. So many
Hmm.
confusing names, the same names, but what Felicia Wagner was able to do. Felicia Wagner. Woo, y'all! I'm so sorry I can't talk today.
Christy
What Christina Wagner was able to do
Wagner.
with Felicia, what
Yes.
actually did move me, but
Yes.
I had a hard time with it because I am not moved by Christina like at all. And that's just a personal like viewer thing. It's not even it's not a knock at Kate Mancy's acting. Like
Right.
we don't do that. But as a character, it's been really difficult for me to have any feelings for her. So that did move me. And I am really frustrated in like the ways in which they are doing the character of Sam. And I can't look past the fact that what is happening with Anna and Jason should actually just be Sam and Jason. And so it's hard for me to enjoy those things despite being an Anna fan. Um, but yeah, so that's but again, no matter what happens, we always know that these performers are going to do their thing. And if you're not like me and have these like personal like gripes and grudges, you will feel for them in a different way.
Yeah, and it's really hard not to have the annoyance and the anger of what's happening with Kelly play into how you feel about the story, because you're
Mm-hmm.
like last time where we were talking about, oh, that's, Kelly Monaco money that they're spending. Yes, because every now that we know that Kelly Monaco is leaving, that kind of just flavors everything going forward. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll talk about this, I guess, probably more. It's just like people were speculating about how they're going to kill off Sam based off of our knowledge that it's going to happen. And that flavors everything. And so it makes us not focus so much on the story anymore. We're just trying to guess what's happening with Sam. And I think that's a disservice to the rest of the cast, but it's not the rest of the cast's fault because the producers are the ones that messed up. And
Exactly.
so, yeah.
Exactly. 100%. Well, let's actually hop into talking about this Alexis arrest. So we kind of start this week with Alexis talking to a very attractive detective, um, and her finding out some information that I think that we didn't know, which is that Christina had her car.
Right.
So Alexis is like, tell him I got rid of the gun, get in trouble for that, but not knowing that her car had been spotted at the quarter remains because apparently Christina was there with the gun, thinking about killing Jagger, couldn't do it, and then went home.
Hmm.
Woo!
I like
Like,
kind of how they revealed that because it didn't really
yeah,
come out until Christina, well, Michael and Christina was talking, and Michael was like, "Is there anything else?" And then she's like, "Oh, yeah, I took the car and I was going to kill him. I went to the Quartermain Mansion and I sat there and then I changed my mind." But at the same
mm-hmm.
time, the dots didn't really connect for me until Alexis was interrogated. They brought her back and they're like, because, even when Matt came and arrested her, I was just like, why are they arresting her? They already talked to her
Exactly.
about the gun. What's going on? What else do they have? And then when the interrogation happened, and then I was like, oh, Christina, she took the car. I was like, so that, so I totally feel you on the annoyance with Christina. Just like her behavior just really put her mom at risk. Crazy. And
I
her talking
also
about it too, just been like, I wanted to kill him. I wanted to kill. I'm just like, can you stop talking?
it's hard because she's so immature, and I
Hmm.
think that is part of as you speak to disservice, that is a disservice to Craze fans
Right.
because that Blaze relationship is actually what rooted Christina. So like she could kind of be a mess everywhere else, all of these other places and people like kind of side-eyeing her, wondering what she's doing. But when she was in that relationship, we really saw her moving forward in a way that was less annoying. She was
Mm,
getting paperwork together. She was, for her center, she was, doing all of these things and making plans and in a solid relationship. And then all of a sudden that was gone, and it's hard for me personally to feel anything for her because we don't have that balance. Her family's always going to see her the way her family sees her, but Blaze saw her in a new light that made me see her in a new light. And her
mhm.
not having that relationship, I mean, I'm going to keep harping on that. It's just been a problem, and it's been really difficult as a viewer to enjoy Christina.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's some definite scenes where I've just been like, girl, if you don't sit down, if you don't be, stop it, just be quiet.
Just
Shh.
hush.
You
Even
know,
the
every,
idea even the idea of wanting Sonny there. Why do you think your mob boss daddy should be here for your mama on a murder charge? What are
yeah.
you saying?
Not only is it not good for Alexis, it's not good for Sunny. To be around that. He needs to avoid that at all situations because he obviously is the one that did it. So why should he be hanging around the courthouse, acting like, it makes no sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. I will also say that though I was an anti Molly when it comes to this baby, I think they have done a huge it is just out of pocket for us not to see Molly and TJ grieving. And so like the
Mhm.
way that we now see Molly grieving is like the way she is talking to Christina.
Yeah. Not
I
just talking.
I don't care what my sister did. I'm not turning my sister in for murder.
Exactly.
And so for me, I had grown to like Molly in
Hmm.
a character I've never liked, and now I'm back to square one. I mean, I don't dislike her like I used to, but I'm definitely back to zero on her. And I think that's so funny when it comes to like a show like GH because you're like, why are you turning in this murderer? Like I, as a viewer, Tracy as a viewer, I want Sunny to get away with this.
Yeah,
So
I do.
I like having Molly play this role. I'm mad at Rick and Elizabeth for not minding their business. I'm mad at Molly for what she did. In what world does Molly believe that Alexis would let Christina take this charge? She wouldn't. So you
Right.
did this for what? Even if you would have gotten Christina to like admit it, it would have been Christina's word versus Alexis's word. Because Alexis was never going to let Christina take the fall for this. So I
Hmm.
do like when Sunny even brought it up. It's like it's the same vibe of Sunny and Rick against each other in the same way that Molly and Christina are against each other, and this like jealousy over their mother. I am with Molly and everybody doing her wrong, and I think that she has been wrong. I am not with her on snitching on family.
And that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, so Molly is in her, Rick era where she's like when she don't like somebody, that's it. And she's going to do all these bad things, morally questionable things. It's such a parallel to Rick. Like she went to Rick and was mad at him for turning in Alexis, but then you're gonna turn around and do the same thing to your sister. So,
Right.
I mean, how is that different? So, and I actually have to backtrack because I forgot Sunny and Rick. Those scenes were also great. And shout
Mm-hmm.
out to, um,
Mo and Rick Hurst.
Mo and Rick Hurst,
Yeah.
because they, just Rick Hurst being back on the scene. I'm just loving him and everything that he's doing. Like, even, he had great scenes with Heather, going back to the prison and being like, yeah, it's not gonna work. And then, scenes with Elizabeth begging to get back together with her, but being funny about it, being almost charming and romantic. And I was just like, oh. But then Elizabeth was like, nah. And I know why she said nah, because, he's crazy. And then his scenes with Sunny were great. I mean, just typical. And he's like comparing, returns. His has been the best return, I think,
Yep.
I almost all year.
Mm-hmm.
His return was better than Jason's. His return was better than
Lucky's.
Lucky's.
Mm-hmm.
And those were major big deals that, the producers in the show was like, yay, we're getting Jason back. Yay, we're getting Lucky back. But Rick Hurst's being back has been 100% better, more entertaining, true to who he is and true to who his character is, and has not been disappointing at all. And so,
Yeah. Yep.
which is
Rick's
weird.
return
Crazy.
should be the model for how returns happen.
Right.
You have taken too long to bring Lucky back. And it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't connect with what's going on. The stakes of Lulu don't matter. I can't remember who I was talking to. It might have been Tara again, because I chat with her a bunch about the show. And so sorry if it's not her. If it was you, leave it in the comments. But I think it was Tara. And we were talking about how with Lulu, they should have woken her up. And then we find out she had this bad liver.
Right.
Right. So that we could have these like really powerful scenes with her family that are like,
Mm-hmm.
I just got you back. I don't want
Mm-hmm.
to lose you again.
Mm-hmm.
But now, what are the stakes? I mean, I guess we know Lulu's coming back because Babe from All My Children, which is a whole nother thing, is going to be Lulu. But she's been in a coma all this time. Why it doesn't make sense to like do all of this. This does feel like natural causes. You know what I mean? So where was the kind of like excitement and bring in like trying to save her life? Where was the part that made sense for trying to save her life? She's been in a coma for years now. You could have easily woken her up out of that coma and then found out that she needed this organ, and then did the
Mm-hmm.
race against the clock to do it. That would have
Mm-hmm.
been much more compelling, because right now I don't care. Like,
Are we
oh, we're
trans
talking to Lulu's hand.
are we transitioning to this story right now? Because I just have so
Okay.
many things.
I want to finish talking about Alexis. We did go on a
Yeah.
tangent here.
Yeah.
But so Alexis, why were they so surprised that a federal prosecutor was prosecuting her for killing a Fed?
Right.
They're like, I don't know him. Yeah, because the
They're like,
Fed. What are you talking
they're like, who is this guy? Why is he coming in?
about?
Hello, this is a federal case.
This is a federal case. And then obviously they don't give her bail, and she ends up in Pentonville as the roommate to Heather Weber.
Okay, that whole scene where they're booking her and they're fingerprinting her and making her change her clothes. That was hella dramatized. And I was just like making us feel like horrible for her. I mean, I'm just like, first of
I
all,
felt nothing.
yeah, I didn't feel nothing. And she still got kid glove treatment because usually when you go to prison, sometimes they be doing cavity searches. She got off really light.
It was one of those things that was completely unnecessary. You know what I mean?
Unnecessary.
I've recently seen Alexis in jail. I don't need to see the dramatics of booking
Yeah,
her.
she's been in jail before. Like, it was really crazy. But yeah, it is very obvious too that all of a sudden Heather is her roommate. So I'm feeling like they're gonna do again a thing where Alexis is going to feel sorry for her and want to take her case when she gets out, that kind of thing. Or I don't know, she's gonna go toe to toe with Rick. Either way, Heather and Alexis aren't over in terms of, however long she's in jail. I think there's
I
gonna be
think
repercussions.
Yeah, I think Rick is good. I think Rick is gonna want to get her out. I think the repercussions are gonna hit Porsha for changing that test.
Yeah, but I think there's a reason why Alexis and Heather are in the same jail cell. And I think
Sure,
they're gonna try to do something with that.
sure.
Um,
But yeah,
but
Rick seemed like when she was holding his hand and like, oh my God, I'm so sorry you lost a grandchild. if it was like Rick, I think Rick is staying as her lawyer.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he's gonna stay her, probably gonna stay her lawyer, but
yeah.
something's gonna come out of that story.
Yeah.
To me, interesting.
Um, and so then we have Sunny versus Rick, as we alluded to earlier.
Hmm.
I also like their scenes. Mo was just like, I felt like he went and saw Rick Hurst and was like, listen, you're trying to get Emmys this year, okay? And
The
I loved Ava's face and facial expressions
whole
the whole time.
time.
Like, these
Oh
boys
my
are
god.
fighting.
Again, Mora, just, always 100%. She knows how to play a scene, whether she's the main protagonist or not. Just her
Mm-hmm.
facial expressions and like,
Yeah.
like, this is like titillating, but,
This is
you know,
also a mess.
let's get back to this topic of me here.
Right, right. So I just thought that was a really great showdown, and I think particularly with the parallels that we're seeing with Christina and Molly, to like
Hmm.
then see it with Rick and
Funny.
Sunny was powerful, and it actually is like the beauty of storytelling. It's the beauty of soaps,
Yeah.
and like these like long term rivalries. You know, I started watching the show in 2003 when Rick had Carly in the panic room. So I've seen the Rick Sunny rivalry through the years, through the decades. So
Yeah.
yeah, he is a treat. Having him back is just like you said, exactly right. Having him literally be plopped down in the middle of a story that's happening is
Hmm.
the way you have these returns happen. Because
Hmm.
we do not care about this other stuff. I do
We
not
don't.
need Lucky in East Africa. Shout out to, I was telling Tanya before we got on, I was like, if this was a colorful head wrap, you might think I was also in Somalia. And behind me is a Somalian beach.
Yes.
I just was feeling it.
Complete
So
with the warships in the background.
Lucky is on that ship in the background, if you didn't know. It just,
Piracy, all of that. It's great.
it was just, I just, anyway. Um, which one were you asking me? What we were getting to? Were you asking me if we were going to get to
The
Lulu?
story. Yeah, the story about Lulu and them. Okay, first of all, everybody and their mama's going to visit Lulu. Even the
And,
person I hate. I'm like, why?
and
Why are
lotion in them
you?
hands.
Yeah, like, why are you going to see Lulu? There's no reason why you need to be in that hospital room confessing whatever you need to confess to Lulu. Oh my God. If they don't have Lulu waking up, commenting on every story because she heard it, I would be mad. Like,
The
Lulu should
person
be
you hate
the
is
person I
Cody.
hate is, yeah, Cody.
Yeah, just catching everybody up in case I didn't know.
I was like, what the hell, Cody? Why are you there? I'm like, I don't understand. There's no reason for him to be in that hospital room. And so that's what I'm saying. Lulu needs to wake up. And when she sees Michael and be like, oh, by the way, Willow cheated with you. Cheated on what's her name? Oh, by the way, this happened. Oh, and then to Cody, I don't like you. And so therefore, I want her to have something to say to everybody because everybody is in there saying all of the business to Lulu. Like she can't even hear anything that's being said. And I
Hmm.
want her to wake up on site ready to have some words with everybody because I think it would be
Hmm.
hilarious. And
Yeah.
I think that would be the way that Alexa Haven's Lulu would operate too.
I hate it, babe. I am
I don't.
not happy about this. So I
Uh,
don't like Lulu. I've never
mhm,
cared for Lulu. Not liked, I appreciated Julie's Lulu. I've
mhm.
never liked Lante, ever, not once. So I am not pleased. And now we have this Dante conversation with Sam and Dante talking about Sam going to dive for this gun. And I swear to God, if this is how they kill Sam, and if they start cutting up Sam for parts, and one of her parts goes to Lulu, I might go picket the studio myself.
well, I do feel you. I understand your pain and your anger, but I'm actually loving that Alexa Happensis is playing Lulu. Because I loved Babe for the drama and the mess that she caused JR. And I love to hate her for what she did over Bianca. But Alexa Havens is amazing and she's an amazing actress. And I can't wait to see how she interprets Lulu. I'm hoping she's more on the spicy bad Lulu versus whatever's going on that they're trying to portray her as the sweet hero. I don't know what they're trying to do to comatose Lulu, but I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see how she interprets that. I'm not excited like you that they're trying to replace Sam with whatever's going on with Lulu. I don't like that because I think Sam on her own had great history. She has a lot of story moving forward. I think it's a mistake firing her. I'm just really upset about that because even Sam and Lulu could have had some sort of relationship. Like it didn't have to be one or the other. So I don't like that. But I'm excited about Alexis Havens.
This is where we differ. Lulu truly could have stayed asleep. I have no use for that character at all. I think that what we're seeing is that they're trying to bring the Spencers back,
Mm-hmm.
which is why you have like Jocelyn, who we've never heard talk about Lulu, never
Right.
gone to visit Lulu. Same with Carly, now being like, it's our family, go get Lucky, we love Lucky. I'm like, y'all don't talk about that man.
Oh,
Don't
and
talk
then
about.
Carly wanting to be the matriarch of the Spencer family. Ma'am, you do not need to be the matriarch of the Spencer family. You just be Carly and mind your
It,
Carly business. Not trying to be somebody like you forgetting that Laura still exists.
well, Laura's a Collins.
I know she's a Collins, but still.
like
All of a sudden she's
Carly,
gonna no, Carly.
Carly's never gonna mind any business. I will say that I felt so. This was like obviously a last week thing, but just this idea that like Carly asked Jason to. I need them to grow these characters up. Carly and Jason's friendship for me, for Tracy, no shade to anybody who loves it the way it is. I don't love it the way it is. Carly is like Carly is like, I want you, Jason, to go try to rescue Lucky for Lulu. Never mind your sons.
Right.
That's not rootable to me. Who cares? I think it would have made a whole lot more sense. And again, this is where comes the Sam piece of it.
Mm.
Even having Anna bring up Sam when they were in the Somalian
Ooh,
casino
yeah. That was
was
like
a
a smack to the face.
twice, twice
I was
a
like, ooh,
smack
Tracy's not gonna like
in
that.
the face. How dare you? So, like, for me, I'm like, how do Anna, who is the police commissioner, who
Mhm.
just had a dead Fed on in her turf, get to leave to go to East Africa, Africa, while the mayor is also gone?
But
What are we doing?
can I go back to the whole where the
Let's go
mayor is
back.
also gone? Where
Yes.
is Laura? Just like she just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go and find my son. And we don't see her finding her son. We don't see her going through the adventure. We don't see her even getting on the plane and landing. This was a clear way of writing Jeannie Francis off the show so she can do her little vacation thing. But man, I'm just like, that is the craziest thing for me. That Laura, no, that Anna and Jason can get that much closer to Lucky than Laura has, who's left a couple weeks ago. That's just crazy to me.
And it also, to me, continues to be frustrating. And I'm sorry, I'm going to just remain on my Sam fan soapbox. So
Right.
if you're not a Sam fan, my apologies. So I'm going to stay there. But
Mm-hmm.
like, I feel like they did all of this work and they wrote Sam into this corner where it's like, because she's a mom, she can't want to do X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from apparently wanting to go die for a gun. But like, which, okay. But you have written her in a way that's like, oh, well, she loves her sons, and so therefore, because she loves her sons, she can't do the kind of adventure stuff that we fell in love with this character doing.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, that does not apply to anyone else. Anyone else can go have whatever story, and nobody's like, "What about your kids? What about your grandkids? Whatever." Like literally, Jason the deadbeat texted Danny and was like, "Sup, son?" It sent to like a continent Africa emoji and like a wave, like I'm out, and it may be like a shamrock for Lucky. Like he literally just texts Danny to be like, "I'm out of here," and Danny is like worshiping him. Meanwhile, Sam can't be a part of any adventure, can't solve any cases, can't be a part of anything because they keep like leaning back on her being a mom. When we don't get
And
that lean back, we don't get that lean back on Laura, who just left Ace, Laura and Kevin, who just adopted Ace, and then left him with the Quartermains, who are not even related to him.
and to add insult to injury, they're making Sam the hater of adventures. Right? Sam is the only one that has a problem with Jason going out and find Lucky. The
Mm-hmm.
only one.
Mm-hmm.
So not only have they stripped her of her ability to go on adventures, they've made her someone who doesn't like adventures at all, except diving in for a gun.
It is frustrating. And
Mm-hmm.
I love all of Sam's relationships. I know that there's, it's always a little bit of like, I like J Sam, I like Dream, I like this, I like that. I will follow Sam to whatever relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I have ones I like. There is, for me, it's like no wrong answer. You know what I mean? Like I have ones that I feel like a certain pull to or nostalgia for, but like I love Sam and Sam Trick. I love Sam and Lou Sam. I started off loving Sam and J Sam. That was like my first relationship hers that I loved. I love Sam with whoever. I um it is weird to me that as they have her in Sante, that I don't actually mind them being a slice of life couple if you write slice of life story. But she has been regulated to essentially waiting for Dante to come home. And all this, like the reason Sante works, the reason Sante is exciting is truly because of the effort that Kelly and Dom put into their characters and put into their pairings. The writing has done nothing for them. And that's really frustrating. And so when we talk about losing a Sam, it's like there's so much story to be told with her, and they just refuse to tell it.
Mm-hmm.
Even like with Sante, when you have the potential of Lulu waking up, is when we're losing Sam. What? I don't know. Frustrating to me.
It's
Also,
gonna.
shout out to Cyrus
Oh
visiting
yeah.
Lulu and then getting mad at Julian. What? That's so
Like this, if it wasn't for Julian, you wouldn't be here. Like, sir, if you hadn't actually put out the bomb request, she wouldn't be here either. Let's not divorce yourself from the whole situation. And I thought it was hilarious that he got caught by Jordan.
right.
It was like he was making some headway with, new dude, what's his name? I forgot. Isaiah.
Isaiah.
Isaiah not knowing who he was, thinking he was some cool dude, and Jordan went in there and was like, you need to go.
Talking about the Seahawks. Like, get out of here.
So I loved
Absolutely
it.
not. Absolutely not.
Well, that was hilarious.
Yeah, he's cute. I
Mhm.
think I'm interested to see their dynamic when he's not in bed, a hospital bed, that is.
Right.
But I'm interested to see what that dynamic looks like. But for now, it's cute. I loved her going to get food for him at
Burgers.
Bobby's. I also am like, damn, Josh, you about to bankrupt your family. You keep trying to give away free food.
Right? I was just like, who is she to be like, oh yeah, you can eat here free anytime. Him and I'm like, what, you paying for it with your trust fund? Cause
She
you
could.
know, she could.
She
So,
could.
but I'm just like, for real though, you got the authority just to assign free food to just random folks.
Yeah. I did like the small kind of drop in of her and Jordan bonding over
Yeah.
being like organ recipients. I thought that was like a really cool moment. But
Mm-hmm.
all in all, and this is not in our notes, but all in all, I just really need this young adult cast to find something to do. Gio and Jocelyn talking about Carly and Sunny's sex life for multiple scenes? What?
Yeah.
This is weird. Why don't these two have lives?
I'm still stuck on why is he on the show?
I mean, it's like I don't know what he adds. Not, and this is no shade to the actor. It's a shade
No.
to the character. What's
And the
happening?
writers and the producers. I mean, again, recast Nicholas Cassadine, I mean Spencer. Why are you bringing a whole other character?
I
And
don't know. I wonder if they
my
thought. I wonder if they thought that like a recast Spencer was setting that person up for failure.
maybe, but can we get like speaking of Spencer, my hot take was what the hell? Um, Portia and Elizabeth talking. Portia's like, I'm gonna have dinner with my daughter, and then we don't see the dinner with the daughter.
Right. Annoying.
Why?
Um, yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah,
I did really, really love the scene with Trina and Aunt Stella.
yeah,
I
that was good.
loved that scene. Aunt Stella was like, listen, girl, I know you sad, but you gotta go live your life. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that is right. That is like the auntie story to tell. And if they
Mm-hmm.
were not going to give Trina like a story where it was actually like mourning and moving on, I would have loved for her to have a storyline where she was like hyper busy and then had a breakdown. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But they literally took everything from her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and now, and I will repeat this to the end of the earth. I do not think that people have to like Porsha. I think that people should be asking the question, why is Porsha never given anything likable to do?
Mm-hmm.
I think that when she saved Trina and did what she needed to do from court, that was like an imminent threat. And so that was understandable. It was like, yes, of course. But this, like, if she did something to Heather's blood work, that's not an imminent threat. Her nagging Curtis about work, not like what? Why is she not given anything likable, anything rootable, anything interesting to do? The
Mm-hmm.
only thing that we ever see her do is lie and worry about Trina.
Mm-hmm.
That is annoying to me, at least.
Right.
Um, it's frustrating,
Yep.
and
So
so
here
yeah,
we're getting a lack of positive story for Portia and a continued lack of story for Trina. I'm glad that Aunt Stella was able to, knock some sense into her, so to speak. But Portia could have done that.
hmm
Portia is her mother.
hmm
But I mean, I love Aunt Stella and like her being on the canvas. But again, the way that the writers are you doing Portia and Trina is just unfair and not right. And it makes me want to be like, girls, take yourselves over to the gates because the gates are about to give you better story and you're gonna be a lot more popular and you're gonna be it's well deserved because that's what I'm thinking because GH is
hmm
not doing it right now.
No, and even I liked the auntie of it all. I think they
Mhm.
also have set up Trina's relationship with Portia to not be one, like for the conversation to have made sense. I would
Mm-hmm.
have loved for Porsha to maybe have come in at the tail end of that because her,
Mm-hmm.
Stella, and Trina were going to have lunch. She was a little bit late. They had that conversation, and then Trina tell Porsha how excited she is that she's about to like take this next step in her life, and Porsha
Right.
being proud of her. Because I actually understand that they've set Porsha up as this like nag in Trina's life. I would love for Trina to come to her and tell her so that Portia can like have that moment of being proud and saying,
Mm-hmm.
I knew that you would get there. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy you have Aunt Stella to help push you there. Blah blah blah. Like something that shows that it makes sense for the. They took Taggart away from her. They made her Ashford, and then we don't see her doing any Ashford things.
Mm-hmm.
Has she supported TJ at all? Has it ever come up that it's weird for her that she is still in this like mentorship and friendship with Ava, considering what Ava it means to that other side of her family? There is drama there that they refuse to like play out, and for me, that's like, what are y'all doing?
Right.
The other, what are y'all doing? Is Tracy and Sasha. What do they have Tracy doing?
What is this thing where Tracy is like upset and jealous? First she was mad and pissed off that Sasha had a dinner at her house, and then all of a sudden it's like, I'm mad because you could be doing better. You know, like what is this? Or you know, Mac and Felicia talking about, well, Tracy might actually be jealous. Like what?
What are we
Tracy Jordan
doing?
made jealous over some Cody? Uh-uh. First of all, Cody, no.
I knew you were gonna hate it.
No. Of all the men that Tracy could be jealous about, Cody, no.
Cody.
Uh-uh.
Cody.
No. Stop. Don't even say his name. I just can't. So
It's bizarre.
it is.
I didn't understand what she was mad about. Like her, like treating. Look, I think that having Tracy be a little bit snotty makes sense. And Jane Elliott plays things like she's amazing. Nobody can do what Jane Elliott does.
Right.
But it still doesn't make any sense. You're like, why are you having this brunch? I mean, now I was asking why she was having a brunch on the murder deck. Just like I was wondering how Willow's like yoga was comforting on the murder deck. But like, but other than that, like, what are we talking about? She's like, your quiche is divine, and you're not taking this seriously. Yeah, she's not taking it seriously. This, what are you talking about? She is. Y'all are lucky that she is cooking for you now. There's a million things she could be doing, and you're treating her like the help.
Mm-hmm.
She used to be chased by the paparazzi, and now you are treating her like the help. You lucky if she sticks around.
Right.
Like it just didn't even. Anyway, I don't know. I don't care to know. I want them to just stop it. I want them to
And
stop it.
what do we want with what do we want Sasha to do? We want Sasha to break up with Cody and get back together with Michael. That's
Well,
what
let's
we
get
want.
into Drillo. Let's get since you brought it up. Since you brought it up. So we got Willow doing her yoga, getting interrupted by Drew, while Nina is talking about how she is about to be Drew's fake campaign
Bouquet.
girlfriend.
Right. And Willow
Now,
feeling some kind of way about it. So you're going on the campaign with Drew.
now, mind you, I've never liked Nina. I've always thought she was pitiful. This might be the most pathetic I've ever seen her. What are you doing? Do you really like Drew, who is making eyes at your daughter?
Like I thought she had her ultimate motive was to get Willow or to help Willow stop thinking about Drew. But I don't understand why she thinks her coming in the middle is helping.
And
I
it's
don't understand that.
even if she did think that, it's clear that she is like starting to have feelings for Drew.
Yeah, that was beforehand. So now she's
Yuck.
competing with her own daughter for a man.
Yuck. Yuck.
This is some bold and the beautiful stuff. We don't.
And I also think that like them having Drew continue to creep up on Willow, it is the age difference makes this so bizarre. If Michael and Drew were peers, this story would be less gross.
Hmm.
But they're not. And so it's gross. And even like Drew deciding, okay, I gotta give somebody else CEO of Aurora, it looks like he's giving acting CEO of Aurora to Curtis because he's jealous.
Yeah, and that's how Michael is going to take it once he finds out everything.
Yes. Yes.
And he's going
It
to find
is.
out.
Sasha, break up with Cody, quit your job, go live in the Metro Court, start
Be
dating
the
Michael.
be the next Mrs. Michael Corinthos because it's going to be lovely.
I've had enough. Um, come back to me, Misha. Uh, just come back to me. I've had enough of this. It's gross.
Crazy.
Also,
And just
oh, go ahead, please.
I was gonna say this is some bold and the beautiful stuff because this is what is going on with the main actress on the Bold and the Beautiful. Like she literally had an affair with her daughter's husband and had a baby. So, so this is some crazy, crazy Bold and the Beautiful stuff. For those who were fans of that show, you knew what I was talking
Yeah,
about. I don't know if Tracy knew.
this is yuck. It's gross.
Yuck! It's gross.
I did think that the ELQ drama was interesting.
Mhm.
Only because I'm like, how do Valentine still run stuff?
Right.
Bro is on the run. And
Well,
Ned, you
yeah, it was
were.
before I thought, okay, Michael and Drew going after Valentine. I didn't actually like it because I thought, Valentine's a good CEO. He runs a company. He's doing well. Why are you trying to hate? But now I can really see. I mean, he's literally doing everything but be CEO and still in the company.
I was not with it at the time. I was like, yeah, this is a family company. Why in the world would Ned like keep it outside of the family? Because you
Right.
jealous. Like, what are you
Right.
doing? And
Right.
so now we have the same thing. So Ned feels stupid and looks stupid because he the person who gave it to Valentine. What
Yep.
a mess. And then his conversation with Lois, and then again Geo unnecessarily rolling through. What do we think? What are we thinking that Geo's relationship is? Like, is he really Brooklyn and Dante's kid? Like, what is going on?
No, I still think he's Lois's kid, but now I'm torn as to whether or not he's Sonny's or Ned's. Because the way that she's act like, I still don't know. And why does Ned? I mean, yeah, why does Geo have it on site for Ned? I mean, it didn't make any sense. I don't know.
If they make it so that Lois and Sunny had some kind of affair, I am going to throw something.
Yeah, they
No,
are
thank
playing
you.
up their friendship and their history. And Sonny was the one that took me to my first concert and all this other stuff. So, which is it?
No, I'm not interested in that.
Yeah, I don't think it's Brooklyn's baby. I think it's Sunny's. I mean Lois's. But you never
No,
know.
no.
The way that they're writing is just crazy. Could
Hmm.
be could be Lulu's baby daddy or babies for all we know.
I mean, my main takeaway was that these young adults need a story. We got
Yeah,
like Dex and Molly becoming BFFs.
that's intriguing.
It's not intriguing to me, but I hear you.
It is
Um, I
because I don't want Molly and TJ to be ending up together.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, I like when it is going well. I like Jex. I think they
Hmm.
have good chemistry. I think they play well off of each other. I just think they have a really poor story. And I was
Hmm.
actually talking about this with somebody else. I feel like just lately, particularly with GH, I don't know what happens with other shows, is that so I just remember back in the day, you used to like a character based on what was written for them. It wasn't like, oh, I like Maura West or I like Maurice Bernard or I like Laura Wright. It's like I started liking a character based on the story that was written for them. And I just feel like that's not happening anymore because people are not getting any story. If what is there to like about Joss? What is there to like about Trina? Not in a shady way, but like they are not getting story that like moves you towards liking. They're not getting story that you're like, oh yeah, this I'm so glad my fave or one of the characters I like is in this story. They're not getting it. They're not moving forward. They're not. They just yap,
Hmm.
and then they talk about other story. And I remember particularly, I never subscribed to like the Sprina versus Jex situation. Everybody's like, oh well, Jex gets all this story. I'm like, they never got their own story. They were a cog in Sunny's story. And now that they're not a cog in Sunny's story, they don't even have a story anymore. There is no investment in that young adult set, which is why I always say, in order for that set to like really move, they need to have something that's happening. Their friend group needs to have something that's happening, and then their families need to have stuff that's happening that they can plug into and be a part of. And
Hmm.
none of them have that. Joss has like been able to kind of plug into her family because they're always on some mess. But that's not her story. That's just her being a part of Sunny and Carly's story. So I just don't feel like we have been getting anything. Like it feels like we're just spinning our wheels and we're not getting anything that moves things forward and makes up and like gives you something to make a character likable or
Right.
moving them in a way that's like, oh yeah, I like this thing. I never liked this character, but I like this story or whatever it is. We don't get that anymore.
Yep.
So what are you thinking about the potential love triangle of Elizabeth, Rick, and Lucky?
So I keep when I think about Lucky, I'm always thinking about Jonathan Jackson. I'm like, was Lucky around when Rick and Elizabeth were an item? And
Yes,
okay. Yeah, so I think it'll be,
it
I
was
guess it'll
Greg Vaughn's
be, it
Lucky.
was Greg Vaughn. So I think it'll be interesting to see, Jonathan Jackson's Lucky encounter that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, because I can totally see Rick being like, really? You're going for the deadbeat dad over me?
Mm-hmm.
And, all that. So that'll be interesting where you'll have the more mature man um, who actually cares about his children versus Lucky, who seems to be the hero but doesn't really interact with his children at all. I think that's interesting.
So it
Um,
is no secret that I've
yeah,
never liked Liz,
right.
but 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 I love me some LNL too. So shout
Yeah.
out to everybody who feels whatever they feel about Liz. I'm over here always rooting for Liz and Lucky. The
Hmm.
nostalgia gets me. I was just watching the scene of them in the church doing their vows the other day.
Hmm.
Give it to me. I need it. I want it. This is what I want to see that happens on screen.
Cool. Well, I'm excited for you because that looks like it may be where it's headed. So,
Maybe we'll see
yeah,
if they don't mess it up.
right.
Um, there may have been other things that happened this week, but that was for whatever reason all that's in my notes. Did I miss anything that you wanted to talk about?
Um, no, I think we hit everything. Um, I think the mystery like of who actually tampered with Heather Weber's results is interesting because now people are thinking that it might be the reason why what's his name is back.
Brad.
Um, Brad, yeah. Like they might frame him for
Mm.
doing it, but I still think it was Portia. Because there
Yeah,
was
I think it
that
was Porsha.
scene where she was looking at the results and wanting the results really fast. So they might
Hmm.
frame Brad about it. But because otherwise I'm just like, why is Brad back? I mean, I
I
like
love
him,
Brad,
he's
but
fun, but I just like why? Why is he back? And
hmm,
why isn't Selena Wu not back?
right.
You know?
It's because I don't know how to write a good mob story.
Right.
And that's kind of what we need.
Yeah.
Like, we need like good mob stories, especially if we're gonna have so many cops. Because I mean, what they gonna do with Lucky when he comes back? Is he gonna be another cop?
Right. And now that the main Sunny antagonist is gone with John Jagger Smith, Selena Wu needs to come back.
Selena's too formidable. She'll beat Sunny, and they can't have that.
And she's popular and can't
There
have
you go.
that. Right.
All right, let's get into the week ahead.
Mhm.
My birthday week.
Oh, happy
Yeah.
early birthday.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm on. My birthday's on Thursday. Welcome to Libra season. That's why I did a face
Yes.
mask. If you noticed the extra glow today.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I did notice that. I was like, oh, your skin is looking
Thank you.
good.
Monday, Carly and Brennan have a loaded encounter. Porsha is on edge. Terry defends her decision. Nice Terry spoiler. Happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
Elizabeth voices doubt. Curtis counsels TJ. Tuesday, Carly and Sunny strategize. Alexis confides in her new lawyer. Oh, I guess we did forget to talk about Martin being back. So Martin
Yeah.
is back without a beard and a little bit less of an accent. So Chase and Dante butt heads. TJ opens up to Stella. Okay, two TJs in a row. Diane runs interference. Wednesday, Sam visits Carly. Sunny and Christina have a heart to heart. Jordan confides in Isaiah. Molly meets with Martin. And then Ulrich? Who is that? I don't even know who that is. Ulrich makes a high stakes offer. Maybe somebody in Africa. I don't know. Whose name I didn't track. But okay. Thursday. The walls closing on Jason and Anna. Tracy and Stella reconnect. Drew interrupts Michael and Willow. Drew, quit being a creep. Ned receives shocking intel. Lucky gets devastating news. Friday, Holly makes a bold move. Tracy gloats. Lucy gives Natalia a history lesson. Why is Natalia still around? Carly meets with Brennan again, and Robert and Diane go out on the town. Damn, they gonna have Diane getting embarrassed again because you know Robert gonna be all about Holly when she come back.
Right. Ugh. Anywho, I'm thinking the devastating news is maybe finally somebody tells Lucky that his sister is almost. I still don't understand. Yeah, I still don't understand why Holly's
Just come back
like,
to Port Charles. Like this is unnecessary.
right. So they're gonna tell him while he's still in jail, and there's just
It's
gonna be some high stake hijinks. He's not coming back until October.
I'm, I'm also tired of Holly being so trifling. Just my least fave.
Right.
The opposite of fave is Holly for me.
Yeah. Exactly.
Anyway, that's what we got this week. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe,
Comments.
comments. Let us know how you think, what you feel, what you're feeling about a Liz love triangle, what you're feeling about Sam potentially diving to her death. Um, I'm so mad about it, I can't even think about it anymore. What you feel about Babe coming to be Lulu? You see, we're split. Oh yeah, I did a poll on our Instagram just about like whether or not Molly should have snitched, and like 95% of people was like, no, she should not have snitched.
Right. That
I
was
was
just
like,
crazy.
I'm glad that our the people who rock with us are like, no snitching.
And no
Um,
matter what the reason, no snitching
we ain't
on your
snitching over
sibling.
here.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, y'all. We will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.